Hey everybody, I'm back on Wednesday. This is the 24th of March, and I wanted to share some interesting information that a friend of mine, thank you Stephanie, just shared with me actually. Hang on, let me show you where I am today. In a park very close to my home. Hi Samantha. I'm over here at Stanley Quarter Park, which is near where I live in New Britain. What I like about this park is it's got a big walking path, and they're doing, hey Cheryl, how's that puppy doing? Take him out for a walk today. It's a little chilly. He's going to need an overcoat, even though he's a furry little bugger. So this park here, used to bring my kids here all the time when they were little. It's not far from my home, like I said, and it's got, they do water things in the summertime. They have these little pedal boats and things like that that people can come and use for free. They're putting together a new playscape over there. I don't know if you can see that. They're still doing construction on it right now. So they're kind of revamping some things here and making that happen. And this is a park that is loaded with Canadian geese. Loaded. That's one of the things about here, and it's always interesting to see where these guys end up, and you gotta kind of watch where you're walking, you know. Hi Deborah. Hey Michelle. How are you, girl? Teaching those girls at home? We got lots of people teaching kids at home nowadays, right? Hi Gina. I'll wave to y'all. Oh, we got a busy little bugger, and we've got a little squirrel who is busily eating something that somebody dropped. Not quite sure what. But what's nice about this park is, and I'll share with you what my friend Stephanie told me a few minutes ago, is that it has a really nice walking path. When I walk here sometimes in the winter, there are a couple icy spots, but beyond that, it's actually pretty cool. It's nice and flat, and not too many holes. I think people can rollerblade here as well, which is also nice. So if you're out and about at some point needing to check out new parks, new places, here's one that you might like. Hey Nina, long time no talk, girl. So one of the things I think about is when people share stuff with me, I like to share it with you, is and actually a friend of mine actually does toning, something called toning, which is basically humming, and that kills the coronavirus but if it's only in your nasal passages. I want to preempt that. And I'm actually going to share the video on my Facebook page so you can watch the guys talk on it. That's Stephanie gave me just a few minutes ago. So I didn't know I was going to be talking about that right now, but I am. So, hey Rhonda, I'm in New Britain, Connecticut still. I still live here, and I love it. And I think you should always love where you live. And if you don't, find some place that does suit you, and you can love that. So humming is it's very similar to other types of sound healing, and a certain vibration which your body makes by itself is actually one of those things that can build your immunity. So there's three things he talks about. One is building your immunity, obviously, with like vitamin C, and the thought is also that to get some zinc in there with that. Melatonin, which calms your system and boosts up the humming actually can boost up your ability to produce nitric oxide in your body. So it's kind of nice because, is there senior housing here? Not too close, probably about 3 miles away, I'm guessing, something like that. I'm answering questions here on Facebook. Hey Steve. So one of the things that, humming does is similar to what toning does. And these are all things you can do I always say that, you know what, there's a lot of things you can do that are good for your health, and a lot of people think you have to pay a lot of money for things in order for it to work. These are all things you can do yourself. So you can utilize these tools that God gave you, or your creator gave you, whoever you want to call that universal energy, is it's all built into you already. It's already in you. So how great is that? And yes, a plant-based diet will cut inflammation and increase immunity as well. You're absolutely right. That's one of the things we've started going very plant-based with dinners and stuff. And my daughter-in-law made an amazing Cuban taco last night. Cuban Taco Tuesday we had. The kids weren't crazy about it, the little ones, but the adults loved it. So, yes, I agree. Hello, Lois. So, one of the things I guess I'm thinking about is how amazing our bodies are, that God has given us all these abilities that many of us don't even know we have, but yet they're there until someone points them out or someone gives you some information and shares it with you. And then you realize, wow, I can do something about that as well. So humming and toning / sound healing are very beneficial for your immune system. It calms the nervous system, calms the parasympathetic system. So I think that's one of the things that I want to share with you today. Hang tight, I'm walking by some people. Good morning. Good. And, but there was something else I was thinking about this morning. Now I'm running a blank on it. Oh, I know what it was. Hey, Jer. Hello, Lois. So one of the things I was thinking about this morning was how we're so used to, I'm going to say we, even though it's me sometimes, used to having what we have in our lives, taking it for granted, more or less, expecting it to be there or always available, and then coming to a place where things are in short supply, things like toilet paper, of all things. Who would think that, right? But of course, really important things too. People's medicines, things like that. So I think, coming to a realization with this COVID-19 that nothing should be taken for granted. Not the people around you that you love, not this park, not your car, not your household. All the things that many times, especially in this country, we take for granted as a given, that we feel somewhat entitled to, are not necessarily things that other people are praying for those things. So I was thinking about that and how important it is to be frugal in this world. I actually do live pretty frugally. My kids always give me a hard time about some of the things I do. But I do reuse tin foil. If I've only covered something with it, I just put it back in the cabinet where the other plastic goods are, with the covers on them and the lids, and I use it again. So things like that. Paper towels, paper napkins. I don't use a lot of that stuff. I do live alone, so I guess it's somewhat easier. But I also notice that, one of the things that I like to do is to be conservative in how I use things that I've paid money for. I paid good money for things like paper towels or napkins. And it's also good for the environment and the planet as a whole. So to me, hey Gretchen, hey Aggie, that I think maybe this is a great time to start looking at everything you consume. I'll use that word loosely. Not talking about just what you're eating. Everything that you consume as a family or as a household, and where can you cut back? Where can you be more conservative? Where can you be more frugal? And frugal doesn't mean being cheap. Like, the governor said that there's certain businesses in this state that are considered non-essential. Well, in my book, had he talked to me, I would have said Listen, my massage therapist is not a non-essential expense in my life, nor Reiki people or hands-on body workers or energy workers. Those are all essential in my life. However, right now, a lot of them can't do what they want to do in terms of their businesses. And I think that's a bummer. So I look at all those things and I think that's because this is how the world is right now. But you know what? It's going to change. It's going to shift. Things are going to be looking a little bit different 6 months from now. Hey, Jim, a year from now. And hey, Cheryl, the other Cheryl. I know like 5 Cheryls or 6 Cheryls, I think it is, something like that. It's crazy. At least. And I think 6 months from now, people are going to have a different take on how their world looks and the things that they want to do and find important. So just some thoughts about what's considered essential and non-essential. And, being with my family and or being with my friends, to me, that's essential. That's why I keep doing these, and I like hearing from people, or at least seeing that people are out on either Facebook or some other social platform so that they can stay connected. Because you know what? It helps me to know other people are there too. And people are feeling, I know there's people out there feeling afraid. I know there's people out there nervous about what's going to be happening next. But I implore you to try to stay in the day. Everything's changing on a daily basis. You don't have to be fearful. Let your angels and your guides and your higher power or your creator or your universal energy that guides our planet take care of you, and trust that it will take care of you. Hey, Jen. And I think that's one of the things that, hey, Corolla. Hey guys, Corolla is way out in California. They're on lockdown out there. Oh man. And my mother's out there still. Hopefully she'll be coming back on Saturday, God willing. And so I just think about, how different the world might be looking 6 months from now. And hopefully it stays in a good place where people are kind to each other. There's a guy on, I forget his name. He does some travel show and stuff like that. But he's going to be doing an online course called Kindness 101. How great is that? We've got people who are teachers driving by their kids' houses to say hello so that the kids can see them, There are wonderful people all over the world, not just the United States. And you know what? People do actually care about other people. Like, that's more known now than it is any time before this, other than maybe the 9/11 deals. But it's like people do actually care about other people. And I think that's one of the things that is important to remember. You are loved. People do care about you. People think about you more each day than you realize. And I think that's one of the things that, unless we stay in touch with social media or phone, FaceTime, phone calls, texting, whatever it is, reach out to somebody else. Let them know you were thinking about them today. Let's see. Oh, you're in North Carolina. Good morning. And I knew you were down south, but I wasn't sure where you were, Nina. So Nina was one of my friends from when I used to own Pass It On Sports in Southington. And before that, I think even maybe, right? So anyways, you know what? It's great that a lot of people out there on the planet care about other people, care what happens to other people. This is all new here. I'm just looking it over. That's why I stopped walking for a second. This is all a new area that they've refurbished. It looks lovely. I love it. But remember that. I try to remember that if you're feeling down, or if you're feeling alone, or if you're feeling isolated because of this virus that's taking over the world here, that you are loved. And there are lots and lots of people that love you, care about you. Hey, Lois. Oh, Canada. Yay. We got Canada coming in. And those people, and I've seen it before on Facebook and on other places, people think about you way more often than they actually contact you. So maybe that's a good thought to have for the day today, is people are thinking about you even when you are not aware of it. But you know how sometimes you're walking along or you're doing something at home or you're doing the dishes, something very mundane, and all of a sudden somebody's essence pops into your brain, like you think about, oh, I wonder how they are. That's probably because they're thinking about you right at that very moment. That happened to me again the other day, which it happens to me a lot. I was thinking about somebody and I thought, well, I'm just going to call. So I did. She goes, oh my God, I was just thinking about you. I'm like, yeah, I know. I said, so I made the phone call first. I just beat her to the phone. That's all. But that happens a lot. And if you watch for it in your life and you go with those gut feelings of intuition or whatever you want to call it, that somebody is thinking about you. And somebody does love you. Lots of people probably love you. And if you think about it, maybe today would be a good day if you have a little downtime. Make a gratitude list of all the people in your life that you've ever known and that you know now. And especially people who maybe made a real impact that you didn't tell them at the time, but you think of them often. And, you know, maybe they've already exited the planet, but that doesn't mean you can't think about them and send them love and light. So I think that's something that we can always do. That's something that is always available to us. And I guess I'm always going to say there's so much out there. There is so much out there for us in a positive way. There's no reason for us to feel alone, to be scared, to be worried about the future. You know, you just need to go with the positive things in life. And today, although I know the sun is shining, it is not visible. But you know what? I'm going to say it again. The sun is always shining. And it's a little on the cool side here in Connecticut today. And, but you know what? Sometimes that makes you feel more alive. I don't know about you, but I really like it. I like it when it's cool out. I like it when it's not too hot because I get hot too fast. That's what happens when you get older, guys. Or some people do anyways. And I just like it. I don't know. I always felt like, you know, whenever I'm outside, I just feel more alive. I love to connect with the ground. I love to connect with trees. I love to connect with the earth. And that's just my thing. So I get out every day, no matter the weather, no matter whether there's a blizzard, no matter whether it's raining. And for me, that's an important thing. Anyways, I don't have a whole lot more to say today. I might come on again later today. I might not. I have no idea what my day is going to bring. However, I just want you to know I'm thinking of you, and other people are thinking of you. So keep that maybe in the forefront of your mind, so that you feel much more connected to the rest of the world and the rest of people on the planet, the rest of our earthlings, as they say. And I hope you have a sparkling day. And remember that the sun is always shining. And I'll talk to you again soon. Bye for now.